Hello there. Welcome back. My name's John. Thank you so much for being here with me today on our little mini talk. We are talking about the benefit of working hard. And this is just coming from my personal experience. I had a pretty decent work ethic growing up, and I've gotten a lot of benefits from it. I'm here to share those with you and try to encourage you to give your all at whatever it is you're doing, whether it's your job, your hobby, your volunteer work, your service, whatever it is. I hope this is encouraging to you. I hope it's empowering, so that you can increase your productivity, increase your output, and increase your life. That is my hope for you. And so, number one is basically you just get the job done and you get to move on to the next thing. And that is just really, really emotionally satisfying. I don't know about you, but I find it really emotionally satisfying to have something done, complete, and out of the way, off my list. I do find that to be really, really gratifying. And so, right there, you get that positive energy, good vibes for just for getting things done. And yeah, it just comes with a real strong sense of satisfaction. And I think part of boosting one's confidence is knowing that, yes, I have the ability to get this done, and we did it, and we came, we saw, we conquered. I think that's like one of the right away the easiest benefits of working hard that people don't talk about enough. People are always like, "Oh, you make money," or "People like you," etc., etc. Yeah, that's all good, well, and true, but don't forget about the confidence and the self assuredness that comes with being able to, hey, I came, I saw, I conquered, and I did it. We're done. Moving on. I beat this thing. And so, working at my jobs, I always, especially, I find that is kind of like an antidote for working boring jobs. I've worked jobs that I didn't really like. I stock shelves at Walmart. I have I have stacked pallets at Loblaws. I've worked in shipping centers or in elevator companies. Nothing super glamorous, nothing super fun, but I was able to keep my mind occupied and keep myself focused and stage off boredom. Now, granted, boredom definitely did come all the time, but I was able to push it away because I was working hard and I was staying active. And if you sit around, well, of course, time's not going to fly by. But if you put in some effort and you work your butt off, time does, and to the point where you don't even look at the clock, time can slip by, which I find beneficial. And so, yeah, it can make a boring job easier. And so that's one of the ways that working hard can help you out. And number two is your boss might take notice and you might get a promotion. I remember one time I was working at one company, and my first week, I just worked and I didn't watch the clock and I didn't walk off as soon as it was 3. I finished basically the only thing I did was I just finished the task I was working on before I walked off the site to go home. So I stayed an extra 5 minutes, but I finished the job and it was done and it felt good. Well, it made my boss feel good too because he came up to me not long after me being there for like 4 days or whatever. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to give you a $2 raise." I'm like, "Wow, first 4 days, and I get a $2 raise. That's pretty darn cool." And so I have seen the benefits of hard work firsthand. And when people notice, opportunity comes your way. And I know some of you are going to ask, well, what about when people don't notice? Don't worry, we're going to get to that. I haven't forgotten about that because that is important to think about as well. But first, opportunities come by. They come to you when you work hard. And good things happen to those who hustle, basically. And so, people will take notice of you, and if your production is good and you're actually doing things that people like and your work hard creates good results that people can admire, people appreciate, eventually people are going to ask you to do more things, and perhaps you can get promoted or get new opportunities. And so that's one of the main benefits of working hard is new opportunities for yourself. You can pull yourself out of that boring job, or at least get extra compensation for that boring job, make it a bit more worthwhile, especially if you don't necessarily love everything that you're doing at the moment. um but what if people don't acknowledge you? What if people do not give you the satisfaction or the reward? You work your butt off and you don't get the promotion. You come in every day, you work hard, and your boss is still a cranky old crone and doesn't give you any acknowledgement, doesn't appreciate you, that can be immensely frustrating. And it can be very, very tempting to say, well, they're not giving me the recognition I deserve, therefore, I'm not going to work hard for them. And I totally empathize with that, and I totally get it. It does make a lot of emotional sense. Like, why would you grind and put in all this effort if people aren't going to recognize you, if you're not going to get a reward for doing it? The boss doesn't even say thank you. That really sucks. That's painful. No doubt about it. But I would encourage you to not use that as your decision making, as whether or not you work hard. And I'll tell you why. Basically, I think there's more to it than just getting acknowledgement. I think a lot of times it goes back to what we talked about earlier, is that the self satisfaction from knowing, hey, I'm strong enough to continue putting in the work, even if I don't get what I deserve. I can at least get the confidence that can help carry me to the next part of my life. And let's not forget about habits. If you build up the habit of slacking off at a job you hate, you might accidentally habitually slack off at the job you love. Let's say good fortune smiles at you and you get a job that's really, really good for you and get a great opportunity. But because you built up the habit of slacking off at your old job because your boss was, you know, the worst, um, you might have difficulty maximizing on that new opportunity. And so, even if no one else gives you the recognition, I would encourage you to say, hey, I'm here for me. I'm here building up my work ethic. I am developing the habit of working hard. So, when I do get out of this dump and I do get better opportunities and I do walk away from this awful work environment, I have the strength, I have the mental awareness, and I have the capacity and the habits that will allow me to succeed in the new place and make my life better. So even if you're not getting acknowledgement now, I would still encourage you to make it a habit to work your hardest. That way, when opportunity does come along, you don't lose it and you make the most of it and you get what you deserve finally. And even at the end of the day, you can still always be able to say to yourself, hey, these people sucked, this job sucked, but I didn't suck. I put in my hardest. I stood above. I took the high road. I was better than this place, and they will never know it. And now that I'm gone, they're going to feel my loss because even though they didn't recognize me and they didn't give me what I needed, they didn't appreciate me, I put in the work and I stood above and I was better. And now that I'm leaving, they might miss me. And even if they don't, I don't care because I worked for me, not for them. And so I think that's an incredibly empowering feeling, and I want that for each and every one of you. And that's why I would encourage you to always work your hardest at whatever you're doing, even if the douchebags in charge don't give you the recognition you feel you deserve. Because sooner or later, your work ethic will pay off. Your good habits can turn into some real good opportunity for you. So I hope that helps. I hope that encourages you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you want more, you can find more on my YouTube channel, John McElray, and you can follow me at johnmcelray.com. Have a great day.